know, we talked about Bach, we talked about Mozart, and they're wonderful, but they're dead. So to have a living composer is really something special, and that he's here to be with you to share. He's not going to, you know, run you over the coals or anything, but he'll probably share some ideas, some suggestions about what you might do, okay? So, we're gonna get started, and so we're gonna let all of the students play and, have their comments made. And then at the end, we'll come up and do a group picture with Mr. Alexander and get your individual pictures, and then if you would like to have your music signed, he will do that at the table in the back, okay? And I think that's how and teachers are going to introduce your students. Teachers, would you come up to the front when you introduce them so that we can all hear, okay? Ready?
Yes.
Okay, so our first teacher is Grace.
Oh my goodness.
She's coming up.
I'm Grace. Thank you, everyone here for providing this opportunity to let Mr. Alexander share his wisdom and love for music. Alyssa came from another teacher, Ruth Rickler, and she's been taking online lessons until a year ago, and she's a delight to teach. She's very sensitive to music, and she loves a lot of other things other than music, such as schoolwork, and then she also plays violin and then a Chinese instrument, and she joins 2 orchestras. So I don't know how she does it, but piano is, hopefully is one of her favorite instrument too, but so let's see. Thank you, Alyssa.
Introduce a piece or something.
If you'd like, you can tell us.
I'm playing the Nocturne number 12 in B flat by Mr. Alexander himself.
much. Alyssa, congratulations. Okay, what a beautiful way to start this program, don't you think? Yeah. This is one of my favorite nocturnes in Book 2, and so glad that you played it for us this morning. You have a beautiful sound in your playing. Okay? I can tell you really listen. Okay, when you play, and I really appreciate that and love it so much. I would, someone played this piece in the first recital too, and I was so delighted. And what I shared with that pianist was that this nocturne, I actually like it more, just a little slower. So it's a little more tender. Your tempo in the very beginning was so nice, okay? But you tended to get a little faster, okay? Did you notice that? Now sometimes that happens if we feel nervous. You know, we tend to go faster when we get nervous, don't we? Yeah. But I'd like to see if you could maintain that same tempo. So when you get past the first, say, line, and you get down here to where there's more eighth notes. In Chopin, if we played a Chopin nocturne, Chopin used lots of ornamentation in his nocturnes, and I do the same thing in my nocturnes too. These books, 2 books of nocturnes, were really written to help prepare students for those beautiful nocturnes by Chopin, and so I employ the same types of elements. But when we have an ornament like this little turn, Chopin really wanted those ornaments to sound very, very much like a part of the melody line. So if we played them a little slower, you see, more like that, it sounds really melodic. And if we go, it kind of fits by us. So quickly we hardly notice it. But if we go, some really, really nice time in certain places, and you really breathed with the music, and I love that. Okay, when you do that though, make sure that your pedal doesn't disconnect. Once in a while, I heard a little empty space, and you heard that too, didn't you? Yeah. But you really take nice time. But this particular spot, I like throwing in unexpected leaps in a melody sometimes, especially in a nocturne. When I was in college, I played for lots of singers, and I loved it because all my best friends seemed like are singers, and the singers. I was at the University of Kansas in Lawrence, Kansas. Of course, I really enjoyed my piano friends too. The singers kind of like to have more fun. They were the pianists were so serious, you know, and not that I wasn't, but I liked playing with the singers because they had such beautiful music, and I really developed my sight reading skills in college when I was playing a lot of chamber music and doing a lot of accompanying for singers. But when a singer has to go up to a high note, do you know what they have to think about?
No.
They have to place that high note in their voice. They have to almost feel that pitch before they go up to it. In other words, they can't do this. They can't go. that gets up there way too fast for a singer. A singer just doesn't do that. So what they do is this. You see, I took a little bit of time and I put a little bit of space between this D flat and way up there, and that's a really big leap, you see. So a singer has to do what I call place that note internally in their voice. So we pianists can kind of imitate that same type of sound if we take the space. Let's try it once. I'm gonna see if you can do that. Could you start right there? Did you hear that little space that she took? Yep, I believe about that. Okay, good. I think that would just make that spot extra special. When we do things like that, it's like we're almost wrapping a little gift and handing it to the audience. Okay, this is a special spot in the piece, and I love this spot so much, and I want you all to love this much part as much as I do. Okay, just kind of think of it like that. We're not done yet, okay? I'll make this fast. I'm not supposed to be doing a master class, but I kind of am, all right? But I'll do my best to keep my comments as brief as humanly possible. Because I always find so many things I'd like to share with a student, things that they do so well, and there's always a little idea that might make the piece even more special. Could you start right there? In that middle section. Good. Now, all of a sudden, we've had a single line melody from here all the way to there, haven't we? And all of a sudden, what do? In the right hand. Okay, yeah, you said exactly what I want you to do more of. Okay, yeah. I throw in chords in the right hand, okay. But it's still melody, and so we need to. Working harder to bring out my top notes of those chords. And well, one thing that you could do that might facilitate that is to angle your hand a little bit to the left and feel like your fifth finger here is a part of the arm. Okay, so it's, I'm going in more like this. You see the angle of my hand? And if I turn my hand a little bit like that, it makes it a little easier to bring this note out above those two, you see? A good little exercise you can try sometime is to play the first note and then play the bottom two notes immediately after, but very softly. So we have, you see what I'm doing? Okay, and then listen for that balance, but it's a good little exercise that you can try and do. But overall, you know, you play this piece with great feeling and very, very musical. You're a sensitive young player. So congratulations for that. And thank you so much for playing today. Take another bow.
Karen?
Well, my student is Mila Hartzell, and she comes from a